today we're going to open our HoneyBook app and we're going to learn about some of the other features that the app has to offer. So start by opening your app. I'm already logged in as Misty again because I've been using her profile as an example. So when we open up our HoneyBook app, we see that we are in our projects tab down at the very bottom. This is your pipeline. We discussed the features of the pipeline in a previous video. So if you'd like to learn more about that, find that video in your resources library and check it out. Next, we're going to go to the calendar tab down at the bottom. We're going to open that up and we're going to see it opens us up right to today. And we're going to note that we're just kind of looking at the week here, and we're going to see those little gray dots on Thursday and Friday. Those gray dots, if we click on Thursday, notate that there is a tentative project. That means that Blossom Beauty had an inquiry for that date, but it has not booked or did not book. Unfortunately, there is no way for me to turn these off, even though we deselected them when we did our calendar setup initially. It's a little bit of a glitch within the app. So if you see gray dots, you can completely ignore them. But let's look at the 28th, because there we see a blue dot. And that blue dot means that we have a booked project. And that means that Misty has a booked project. Now we'll see two projects on that date, meaning that we are, as Blossom Beauty, we have two projects booked. So let's try to click on Erin's project. And we'll see that it's not going to open the project. And that's because that is not a project that Misty is assigned to. Misty is working Valeska's wedding that day. So let's click on Valeska and note that the project opens. We open into the Activities tab. We can see that we can go to the Files tab or the Details tab. We discussed these settings within a project in a previous video as well. So if you'd like to learn more about that, please check out that video. And let's close out, since we know how to figure out which projects we're working. And let's drop down the rest of the month. And let's scroll down a bit until we see an orange dot. So what you're going to be noticing here is we see a lot of blue dots and we see a lot of orange dots, and we may see some kind of grayed out dots. But let's see what the orange dots mean. The orange dots mean that you have a meeting that day or time off scheduled. That's how your time off is scheduled. So we can see that Misty is taking June 8th off, and let's click on that so that we can get the details. If she needed to make a change here and edit it, maybe she needed to remove it from being all day and just a few hours of the day, she could click the pencil in the upper right hand corner. Or if she wanted to open that day back up as available, she could hit the little trash can and delete the date entirely. If you need to block time out, you would click on the date, click the plus button at the bottom, type in your name and time off, select the hours or all day, whichever applies, and then you can leave the rest of it blank. You're going to click Save in the upper right-hand corner. You're going to get that same pop-up that we got when we were doing this on our desktop, and we're going to say there is no related project. And that is going to mark that day off. I think we're having a little glitch in the system right now where that isn't actually pulling up, but it should pop a red or a orange dot onto June 7th and mark that day as off for her. Okay, so let's look at Friday, June 10th, because there's kind of a blue dot. And what we're going to see here is that Autumn actually has this date off. If we didn't want to see what other team members were working or not working that day, we could turn that setting off by going to our Settings tab at the very bottom of the screen on the right-hand side. And we would scroll down to View Team Members' Calendars, and we would click that button off. And then we would go back to the calendar, and then that we would see that we no longer see that Autumn is off that day. So that is a setting that I'm going to leave that on since this is Misty's and she has it set up how she likes, but you can either turn that on or off. It will not affect what weddings the other team members are, that you can view or not view on their calendars. That is something that we set up on our desktop only. So to, refer back to that video, because in that video we discussed that there are some settings that you can only access through your desktop or laptop. Okay, so those are the calendar features. Let's go over to the middle tab, which is Tools. There isn't a whole lot that you need to worry about on this screen. You can see it's quite a hefty screen, but most of this relates to things that I do. However, I did want to point out two things. I want to point out the Tasks tab. You can see that Misty has a notification up there. So if we click on that, we can see that there is a task that says confirm booking agreement is signed for Chloe Vaughn's project. Now, you do not need to do anything at all, and please do not do anything at all in the Tasks tab. This is something that I have assigned for myself. So what this means is that in Chloe Vaughn's project, I am making sure that Misty has assigned the booking agreement for this. So this is something that I will completely take care of. I just want you to know that if you see that and if there's notifications there, you can completely ignore them. Okay, so the other really cool feature that we have in the Tools tab is the Breathe function. This is like a meditation, relaxation feature that they added, and I just think it's really cool. So let's pop in there and open that up. And it's a little guided breath work. So this is really great before a wedding, after a wedding. If you need to take a break at a wedding, use the restroom, you can kind of pop in there and do this. Or any time in your life that you feel like you need just a few moments. I think it takes you through 5 rounds of breath, and then we can close out of there. So I'll let you guys enjoy that at your leisure. Notifications tab, there's nothing in here. And I don't think that there will be anything in here for you to access. You guys can let me know if that's different, but I don't believe so. So that's just a tab that you can ignore. But let's go pop into the settings tab. So we know that we popped in here once to view that, that we could change the team calendar, but we can also edit our profile here. Your name's already going to be in here. The website as Blossom Beauty, that's because this is your team profile. The only thing you may want to do here is add a photo, and you are welcome to do that. If we add that photo, we would upload it and then hit save. You don't need to rate the app or chat with them. You do not need to turn on push notifications. This is about new inquiries, and you certainly don't want to get bogged down with those. In the show events in your calendar, that is up to you whether you want to link those to your iPhone calendar or your Droid calendar. You could certainly deselect that. You can turn off being able to view other members' time off. And the send quick feedback you can leave on or off, totally and completely up to you. Something you may want to access would be frequently asked questions if you wanted to learn a little bit more about the app. But these videos should give you a pretty clear idea of what is going on in the app and what you would need to view. So mostly the tabs that you're going to need to view at the bottom would be projects, calendar, tools, and in tools, you would want the breathe function. I hope this helps you feel a little bit more comfortable with HoneyBook. I'll see you on the next one.